Tales from the Coping.
This is our podcast about skating, shenanigans, and life. I'm Kate.
I'm Leanette.
And we figured with this first episode, we would kind of give you guys who we are and our background in skating, and talk about a few other things. So first of all, we are both elder millennials. We figured we'd say that right off the bat. We're not that dorky, just kidding. We're very dorky, but I'm 40, and I started skating. Well, I did it a little bit when I was a little kid, in the 90s when rollerblades came out and it was super popular. I did that too. But I didn't really start skating until I was 28. So in 2010, I joined roller derby because my sister started skating roller derby and she said I would be really good at it. So I joined Houston Roller Derby, played recreationally. And I was also a coach during that time. And that's
really hard on her.
No, I try to make it fun. So, and that's actually where I met Leanette, because you started in 2016?
2016
Mm-hmm.
in Derby.
Yep.
And then a couple months later, went to the park.
Yes. Yeah, you started park skating regularly and playing derby. I only could skate derby because I could only get out of the house once a week. My late husband had a rare terminal lung disease, and so I was also his caregiver. So I could only take one night a week to really be, use skating as my stress relief and exercise. So skated roller derby, and then in 2019 we both retired, which was great because we were ready to go into. Well, I was ready to go to park skating full time.
I was also. I kept getting in trouble for park skating with everybody at Derby.
Oh yeah, they were always discouraging it because they didn't want anybody to get injured and then not be able to play in the games. But
which did happen to me.
Yeah.
Although, no, did I play the last game? No, I didn't. I played the next to last game.
Was that the San Antonio?
First in October.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
by 2018.
I was gonna say, by the way, time kind of blurs once you get into your late 30s, early 40s. So if we forget when stuff happened, that's why. So I just thought we would
we mix our years up.
Yeah.
I don't even know what day of the week it is.
But yeah, so in 2020 was gonna be skate park year. And I started going often, unlocked a bunch of stuff at the park, and then the pandemic happened and everything shut down. And Houston was very creative with the way that they shut down the skate parks, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah, because we didn't stop going to the skate parks.
Yeah, a lot of people kept skating.
And so they put metal bars on Easy 7. Any of the metal parks had metal bars.
Yeah, they welded metal on the ramp so you couldn't skate on it. Some of our parks are private though, so they locked them up with the gate that's around it. But yeah, everybody was trying to stay creative. I know I built a P rail, which is the PVC rail. You take the 2x4s and the PVC pipe. Did you build one?
Not a rail.
No.
I don't like rails.
I don't either.
At all.
I don't either.
I think I jumped on a rail maybe like 5 whole times.
Oh yeah.
And my entire skating career.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't do rails
either, but
I figured some stairs in front of me.
There you go.
I'll jump some stairs all day long.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say my neighbor across the street, he was getting back into rollerblading and he built a box, and so I would mask up and then go across the street. He had it set up in his driveway. We were like little kids, like skating around and jumping on and off the box. I had that okay.
The cheese wedge.
So yeah.
And then I have a box as well that has a PVC pipe on one side. It's like
okay.
So I hate that thing.
Yeah.
I hate that thing.
Yeah.
If anybody wants a box with P rail attached to it, send me a message.
Yeah, it'd be a really good price for it.
Free. It's free.
Oh,
you just have to pick it up.
really good price. So, but yeah, so once I think was it like September 2020 that the skate parks kind of opened up again because Texas was getting back to normal.
Everything else was open.
Everything else was open.
But they kept the skate parks closed for a few more months.
Yeah, didn't you say they opened the gyms first?
The gyms and the skate rinks.
Yeah.
You could go to the skate rink, but you could not go to a skate park because, for whatever reason, being outside was dangerous. Worse. I don't know.
Well, and pretty much all of 2020, whenever I was out, I was masked up because of my husband's disease, and I didn't want to accidentally bring something home to him. So it was one of those toss-ups. It's like, okay, I'm not going to put my husband in danger, but at the same time, I need to skate for my mental health. I need to skate for exercise. I need some stress relief. So most of the time I just masked up, or I stayed very far away from other people.
Oh, one more thing for those of you who aren't familiar with us. We are located in Houston, Texas.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so because of the pandemic, I'm sure most everybody experienced this in their own cities too. Roller skating really had a resurgence, and everybody wanted to get roller skates because while everything was shut down, that was one activity you could do outside. So it was like a lot of the rolling sports, right? So skating, biking, all of that became very popular because it was something you could do to get outside and stay active. And so because of that, we noticed there were a whole bunch of new roller skaters at the parks. A lot of them, just like we had to kind of figure out on our own. We didn't know what the heck we were doing when we started park skating.
But there is one thing, because we started in Derby. So we had basic footwork. We knew how to put all our gear on.
We knew how to fall properly.
We knew how to fall. And we were seeing in the parks, I mean, I saw some people putting their helmets on backwards.
Oh, yeah, all the time. Wrist guards
on backwards on the wrong side. So we saw that need, and we decided we were going to teach.
Yep. So we started skate classes under the Skate HTX name. And we were teaching classes about once a month, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was once a month. We might do 2 or 3 classes on those days.
Yeah, that's true. But we usually pick like one day a month to actually hold all of our classes. But we did basic roller skating, so literally how to skate, stop, and fall down. And then we did basic park skating. So there's a park not too far from my house that had a little mini ramp. And so we would teach pumping and carving and how to fall down properly.
It was pumping, carving, and then we did little airs and toe stop falls and toe stop falls.
Yeah, and then we also did like little pivot jumps too if they were ready.
Yeah,
and whoever was ready at the end of the class could learn how to drop in if they wanted to. So we try to make it very inclusive, and we tried to be very encouraging because we really like roller skating. And we really like park skating, and we wanted everybody else to like it too. So, it's intimidating if you're trying to go at it by yourself. So we wanted to kind of be that safe space for other skaters to come in and feel stupid as they were learning and falling down, but realize that they had a support group there for them. So that was pretty cool. So we really enjoyed that. And then when was it? So let's see, Banger in the Hangar. That was the first year that he held his event
in 2020.
I remember because I was like the only person masked up when I went there. There were a couple of other people that had masks on still, but
I think
it was in November.
I think that's the one that I missed because I think I was in Waco for another event that year.
Okay. Yep.
It's the only one I've missed.
That's all right. And then 2021 was when you started vert skating, right?
Yeah. I had gone to HVR a few times, probably like 2 or 3 times before then.
Okay. HVR stands for Houston Vert Ramp.
But of course, at the time that I went, I could barely pump that ramp. That ramp is not easy to pump if you're just starting with like vert skating.
Yeah. It's a 13-foot ramp, and it has 2 feet of vert at the top. So it's basically X Games.
And the flat at the bottom. So the flat at the bottom is what really makes it harder to pump if you're just starting it.
Because it's very long.
Because it's very long. It's 30. Is it 30 feet?
It's 30 because the ramp is 60 feet long, I believe. Or 60 feet wide.
That's not half the size of the ramp.
It's not? Okay. I don't know. We'll talk to.
We'll have to get the specs from Scott.
Yeah, we'll ask Scott and make sure we have it right.
But yeah, so
maybe it just feels like it's 30.
Well, when you're starting out, it feels like it's a really long way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I went in 2021. I started going regularly to skate HVR and working in the Texas Bowl and the Pro Bowl at Jamil.
Okay. And the Texas Bowl is at North Houston Skate Park, which is one of the biggest skate parks in North America.
Arguably the biggest, if you take away what Iowa did to theirs to make it the biggest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yes, if you're definitely into skate parks, you should come visit Houston because we have some really awesome parks.
Really good parks.
Just don't come in the middle of July or
August.
Nobody will skate with you.
It's too hot. Well, I might because I like to go out there in the middle of the day in the summertime when nobody's there.
Yep. Well, that's really the to it. So we hydrate and bring all of the stuff.
Yeah, last year skating in 110 degrees was, and this year's going to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have even more 110 degree days.
Awesome. Yeah, and those who have never experienced the humidity that is Houston, you are very lucky. But also, I know a lot of people are, they're out in like Arizona and such. It's like, oh yeah, it's always 110 here. But you guys have dry heat, and that's a huge difference because here in Houston, you walk outside and you literally feel like you're breathing through a wet washcloth.
You walk outside and you need to turn around and come back in to take another
because you're already sweaty. Yeah. So you started skating vert in 2021. I didn't really skate a whole lot in 2021 because Jason was getting sicker. And so I was kind of transitioning into full-time caregiver. I think I made it to North Houston a handful of times, and that was it.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of the year, really August, September, October, he was in the hospital for weeks at a time. And I would go up there. I was working from home. Thankfully, the pandemic made that, normal. And my team was really cool. And they were so there were some days they were like, just jiggle the mouse. We'll handle it. Don't worry. But I would do 12-hour days at the hospital. I'd go up there and make sure they weren't trying to kill my husband. And so I didn't skate a whole lot in 2021. And then unfortunately he passed in November of 2021. And then I took that rest of that year off. So I didn't actually get back to skating until I think February of 2022.
Yeah, that's when you started coming to the vert ramp.
And that's when you invited me to HVR. And I fell in love with the ramp. It was definitely a huge part of my healing process. Was going there and just getting out there and feeling the ramp and just letting me process all my feelings and, get all the good endorphins, which helped me feel better. And then just starting to hang out with Leanette more often because even in roller derby, we didn't hang out a ton.
No.
And so really last year was our year to really connect as friends. And you were going through something also. So it was kind of like both of our healing year.
It was a good year.
It was a very good year.
It was a really good year.
It was a very good year.
2022 was a very good year.
Yeah. I mean, despite the circumstances, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a good year for friendship. It was a good year for healing. Good stuff.
Good year for skating.
Yes. What part of our tagline for this podcast is shenanigans. Because at the vert ramp, so I'm the type of person where, I don't have to be the best. I just want to have fun. And a couple of the skateboarders that we skate with were very serious, very to do all these tricks. And so I started, I'm the type of friend where if I make fun of you, that means I like you, right? So I would kind of rib them here and there and joke around with them, try to get them to smile and loosen up a little. And so that was that kind of became my mission. It was okay, these guys are serious athletes. They're really good, but also they're going to have some fun because I'm here and I'm going to make sure that they have fun, right? I think life is way too short to take yourself that seriously. So one of the things I started up, so I was in gymnastics as a kid. And I dipped my toe into the competitive field, realized I hated competing. It was too much stress and pressure, and it took all the fun out of gymnastics, right? So if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. And but I love doing handstands, and so even though I'm in my 40s now, I still love doing handstands. And so one day we were at the ramp, and I can't remember. Did I just start doing handstands on the ramp, or
I think it's because I was working on ho-hos. I had been working on ho-hos forever. Still working on ho-hos.
I know. I do it so much.
I don't know why I can't get up there.
It's like with me and backside stalls. I have to relearn them every single time I go to the ramp.
Yeah, but you can get them. I still can't get
eventually. Yeah. It's fun.
Backside stalls, I hate those too. I lose them every single time.
Yep. That's a conversation for another thing.
It's stupid. Anyways, I was working on ho-hos.
Yes.
And so
I think that's how I started. I think I was like, we should just practice handstands.
Yeah.
And get used to throwing your legs over your body.
You can't get on full handstand.
It's okay. You're getting a lot closer.
It's been what? 2 years now?
It's been 1 year. It's been 1 year of practicing handstands at HBR.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it started. It was like, I was like, get out, everybody had geared down, people were starting to have a beer or two and hang out. And I was like, Leanette, get out here. We're going to do handstands on the ramp. And so I was teaching her how to do it. And then Cody came out, and Cody was like, well, me, I can do this. He's going to be mad. He's probably going to be mad that I described him in that way, but
that was the best description.
He comes out, I'm hot shit. I can do handstands too. Well, he could, but he was walking everywhere. I mean, he was like traveling. I don't know where he was going, traveling by map. I don't know. And I kind of was like, oh, well, what you're doing is cheating, because it's a lot harder to hold a controlled handstand in one spot rather than once your gravity starts to tip one way or the other and you're trying to walk to catch yourself and keep yourself up. And so I was like, I bet you can't do just a stationary handstand. Let's see how long you can hold it for. And so then it started to become a thing, a competition, even though I'm not competitive. I'm not competitive with handstands, apparently.
She holds the local record of 11 seconds. Pontus Bjorn. Wait. Yeah. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pontus can do it longer, but he's also a younger guy.
Yeah, and he held it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, he knew. He was like yoga handstand guy though. So, but yes, as far as
non-local,
the local crew, but it ended up turning into kind of like a tradition at the ramp. So every time we would have a skate session, because we skate there a couple times a week, and it became a tradition where once everyone was done skating, it was like, okay, everybody, come on out here, do a handstand or two. And so then people visiting the ramp, it was like, okay, you're visiting HVR, you're part of the crew now, like, let's see a handstand. So, having a couple of different skateboarders, like when Lily came from Hawaii and stuff like that, it got her involved. When Tyson visited, and Banger in the Hangar, like, it was like, okay, everybody, whoever's here, like, let's do handstands. And it was really fun.
Everybody, when they come into town from anywhere, and we end the session with handstands, they're all like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
they love it.
Yeah. So we also bring it with us when we travel. So last year we went to the 30 ramp
rodeo roundup. Is that
roundup? Mm-hmm.
It was called the roundup. I think it was the rodeo.
It was in Little Rock, and they have a vert ramp that they had just built, and so we went. It was the five of us. It was me, you, Cody, Mike, and then Max tagged along too. Max had to ride in our car because Cody and Mike didn't have enough room in their truck. And so I was literally like traveling with our kids. So we're both moms, by the way. We're both moms. I have a 15-year-old, and then your sons are 16.
Well, actually, one just turned 15 and the other is about to turn 17.
Okay. Yeah.
So teenagers.
We both have teenagers.
Max was 22 at the time, so basically still a teenager.
Yeah. Sorry, Cheese. I call him Cheese for Max and Cheese. So Cheese had to ride with us, and it was quite humorous. probably not even 30 minutes into the drive, I looked in the back seat and he had his headphones on and he was on his phone. So I took a picture.
We'll have to find that picture so
of
we can
us.
put it on the
Yeah,
YouTube.
put it up on the video. And I think the caption I put was like, when your
ramp
moms play music you don't like or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, so the 5 of us had traveled to 30 ramp for this vert roundup. And I even got people there to do handstands, which was pretty fun. Especially because the 30 ramp guys were like, what are y'all doing on our ramp? And we're like, it's tradition, okay? Like, this is a Houston thing.
Come visit us, you'll find out.
Yeah, so if you ever come visit us to skate HVR, you can participate in the handstand. So if you feel like practicing now, make sure it's a stationary handstand. But that was the start, pretty much the start of the shenanigans. That we brought to the ramp.
Now we just try to stay filming all the time, so that we can catch the guys doing silly stuff. So
one other funny thing that happened this past year, as far as shenanigans go, was Cody had either misplaced or broken his tripod that he was using to film with, and he didn't have another one. Like, he hadn't gotten a replacement. So he started using his White Claw can as a tripod. So he would get his White Claw can, then he'd set up his camera, and then let it film him. And she and I were always like, hello, like, you have friends here, like, we can video you, it's cool. And he was like, no, I got it. So he would do that all the time. So I started filming every time he used an inanimate object to film himself. And I put it into a big reel at the end of the year. You can go look on my page. It was like a bunch of stuff. It was mostly White Claw. So White Claw, you should sponsor him. I'm just saying. And what else? What was it? Gatorade and water bottles.
Gatorade.
A chair.
Gerald and Chariot.
Gerald and Chariot. We named the chairs.
The box of screws.
Yes. Oh, the big
had some big iron metal thing.
Oh yeah. That was like a piece of the ramp.
Yeah, that was a piece of the extension that goes over the channel.
Yeah, that dozer
that holds our, the bench we sit on, which is
actually the box that goes over the channel. Yeah.
I wish they would put that back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then where would we sit? We'd have to bring chairs up there.
I just want to wall ride it.
Of course,
because I know I can do that.
If the guys are listening, they're like, you don't sit, you skateboard. You skate. But yeah, so, and then he had Cody had a big, like, 2x4 post. We named it Woody, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, there was a piece of wood up there, huh? Yeah, we did.
There was a brick or a piece of concrete, something. There was like a rock type thing that he used. It was like a bunch of stuff.
I don't even remember.
I'll have to go back and look at the reel, but yeah, it was enough to create a 90-second reel. So that was pretty humorous. And then, just like I said, we just, we try to have fun at the ramp. As Banger was approaching, we were crowd testing each other. So we would go to do a run or do a trick or whatever, and everyone on the deck would be like, yeah, and like yell to see if it would throw you off. So then we started shouting out random things like cashew.
Taco.
Yeah.
Oh, I said that I had burrito at one point. We ran out of nuts one time.
Oh yeah, one time
I was just trying to.
All we did was name
nut.
Yep.
For Cody's run, it was like cashew, peanut. I went to macadamia. We did almonds, and he hit so many walls. We ran out of nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was even asking Mike. I'm like, think of another one, and Mike's all got no idea. So. Yeah, that was good. And then etc. is one of our new ones. That's a recent one that we yell.
That was Cheese for that one.
But when I yelled it out, he was like, "That's offensive." I was like, "That's etc."
Yeah, he had said it in conversation somewhere about something, and then you adopted it and went with it, and then he. But that was
it was funny.
It was funny.
Anyway, yeah, that was one thing I was worried about with doing this podcast is, okay, us talking about these shenanigans isn't really going to be one of those like you had to be there type things, you know. Maybe, but
we'll have video of everything anyway.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be cringing at some of the stuff we say, which is cool. And actually, that can kind of get us into our next topic is the whole cringe factor of, you know, trying to do something new. For instance, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you're starting a skating podcast?" Like, you know, there's going to be people that are excited about it, and then there's going to be people that are like, "Okay, you guys are old. Like, why are you talking? Who cares, right?" And
I like the sounds of our own voices. Actually, no, I like the sound of your voice.
Oh, thanks.
We're just gonna listen to Kate talk.
No.
Just the podcast.
Oh my god, no. No, but no, I mean that's the thing too. It's like you know, if you want to start something, whether it be creative or a sport like roller skating or skateboarding, whatever, you know you're gonna suck when you first start, and that's totally okay. And you have to kind of embrace that, realize that you're gonna suck for a certain period of time until you start to get better. Like with us, I mean, we're trying not to say and a whole lot. It's gonna be coming out a lot, but at least we're conscious of it. We're trying to fix it, and maybe in later episodes we'll be a lot better. Maybe our conversation will be a lot more exciting. You know, who knows? Stay tuned and find out and tell us how we're doing. But that's the thing. It's like you got to practice and you got to have fun with it, and then also too, you have to kind of not care what people think. You know, if you're enjoying yourself and you're having a good time, and it's fulfilling something in your life, then who cares if other people accept it or like it or think you're cool. Like, that's one of the great things about getting older, I think, is especially when you hit your 30s,
you stop caring.
You stop caring
what
as
other
much.
People think.
Mm-hmm. And you start to morph back into that weird, cool little kid you were when you were young. Because really, your 30s are kind of, you're working on undoing all of the expectations that other people force on you, and all of the perceptions about, when you're 30, you have to be grown up, like, no, you don't. You can still be a fun little kid where it matters. Like, should you be responsible enough to, keep a roof over your head and, go have a job and stuff like that? Sure. Especially if you have kids, you want to make sure you're responsible enough that you're not going to put your kid in danger, whatever.
But you also never want to grow up.
But you don't have to grow up where it counts, right? So that's
a young life. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Growing up is a trap.
It's the biggest trap in the world. Yeah. If you are under the age of 18 watching this, don't grow up too fast. Mm-mm. Trust me, it's a trap.
Yeah. Have fun.
You don't want to grow up fast.
Again, the whole, don't take yourself too seriously. So, I kind of feel like, especially obviously in skateboarding, there's a lot of competition because it's been a sport for a long time, as far as, there's skateboard competitions and, the X Games and all that. And roller skating, especially over the last 2 years, is starting to become competitive, as far as, different groups around are starting to hold their own skate contests or skate jams, which is mostly about community, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's competition, but there's mostly a camaraderie element to it. And I think skateboarding is pretty similar.
Your competition is cheering you on, which is a very unique thing about skating or any of the extreme sports.
Correct.
That's you're cheering each other on, mm-hmm. rather than, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to beat you.
Yeah. You want to see everybody succeed, right?
You want to see everybody succeed. That's one reason why I like skating so much.
Yes. Yeah, me too. I mean,
I watch all the skateboarding competitions and everything too.
Yeah.
So much fun.
He's obsessed with it. Yeah, it's great. Half the time I'm like, oh, he's going to do a thingy. And she's like, I know exactly what that's called. It's this. She's very technical and I'm not.
I've been doing my research to figure out all the names of these tricks because...
Not me. I make up my own nicknames for tricks, right? So there's one that Cody does where he spins the board in the air, like literally like a sandwich spinning board, and I call it Quiznos. Because he does an air and he goes...
It's some sort of varial. I can't remember what that one's called, but it's some sort of varial.
It's called the Quiznos. That's what it's called. It's called the Quiznos. So yeah. And then during Banger, that kid, what's his name? Kiefer from Australia.
Kiefer Wilson? I think
that's his last name. He's from Australia, and he has a mega ramp in his backyard. So those are what, 20 feet, sometimes 30 feet.
The quarter on the end is usually 20.
Okay. Yeah. So he came to HVR, and that was like a mini ramp for him because he's used to skating taller things. And so he was literally jumping off of the rafters onto the ramp. And he did some sort of, I don't know, was he trying some sort of, not a 900. I know he was trying 900.
He was trying
another
something else, which was very impressive. I don't know, but we called it, what did we call it?
The fidget spinner.
Oh yeah, we were calling
it. It was the fidget spinner because he himself was spinning in the air, and at the same time he was rotating his board a different way.
Yeah, it was quite impressive.
So yeah, and because he was a teenager, I was like, oh, it's the fidget spinner, like back in the day when kids used those. I don't know, are those still popular? I don't.
Yeah, they're still a thing, but I mean, not as much as a toy.
Correct.
Yeah. As more of an
anxiety tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ADHD or what.
That's why I have a pop socket on my phone, so I can just be like playing with my phone and twisting it, and yeah. So the cringe factor and gaining confidence, and then like I said, you're kind of like getting into your own as far as you feel comfortable, and you want to be you like what you're doing. But then sometimes, like, even after you have done something for a while and you're confident in what you're doing, sometimes you kind of get in your head, especially if you start comparing yourself to other skaters, and you can get that imposter syndrome, right? So it's like, oh, am I really as great as like people think I am? Like, I don't actually know what I'm doing. Do I really deserve this recognition? That type of thing. And it doesn't happen to just athletes. I think it happens to, actors and, teachers and all sorts of people. And, and I get that sometimes too, because it's like, okay, yes, I'm skating a vert ramp, but in the grand scheme of things, I still can't do a whole lot of things, right? I can do hand plant 180s. I can do deck taps. I'm still working on my invert. I feel like I'm never going to land that damn thing. I can get 1 foot on the ramp, but
we're in the same boat on that one.
But
I just stopped working.
Yeah, and like I can do backsides on there. I just unlocked alley oops. So I've got a handful of tricks I can do on the vert ramp, but I don't feel like I'm anywhere near what some other people are. And that's kind of that competition angle, right? Like, you don't necessarily, like, you compare yourself to other skaters because you want to learn and progress yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure you're doing it in a healthy way, not I'm not good enough, or I need to be, this person's way better than me, I should be skating like this person because, I've been doing it longer, or whatever, So it's kind of, you got to get out of your head in that aspect. And so one thing, because I struggle with that big time, like I said, is a lot of times I don't think I'm as good as like other people, like she's my great cheerleader. She's always like, you did all these things. And I'm like, I did? Really?
They're so pretty.
And
all their stuff is always so pretty. I'm like, you look like a sloppy mess. Kate over here is gorgeous.
You have so many tricks in your arsenal, though. I mean, that's the great thing about skating with you is and that's the other great thing is skating with a buddy. Okay, so she's very driven, to the point that sometimes she gets in her head about, I have to get this trick, and I'm like, whoa, slow down, like, let's enjoy the vibe, And then I get so vibey that she's like, okay, you need to be practicing this or this or this, right? Like, practice your stall, Kate. And I'm like, fine, I'll do it, So you push me to try new things, and so does Cody. And then I feel like Mike and I are kind of the cheerleaders of the group. Like, yeah, you did that thing. That's awesome. Like, cool. Because we're a little more laid back than Cody and Leanette are. And so I think that's why we work really well as a skating group, is we've got a couple of people that are very ambitious, and then we've got a couple of people that are very laid back, and we mesh pretty well together, which you wouldn't necessarily think that would work, but it does, right?
Yeah, it does.
So
It's actually one of my favorite things about having started skating vert.
Oh, absolutely.
Was our little group.
Our group, yeah.
Our group is amazing. I don't know how in the world it works, but it's...
Yeah. Well, and we've tried to get more people out there, right? But we're always like, yeah, come skate at the ramp. Like, let us know if you want to come, and we'll make sure to get you on the list. And people have come out here and there, but we don't have any other roller skaters that like really want to do vert often. Like they'll try it like once every couple of months or whatever.
Yeah.
And the guys have been trying to do the same thing with skateboard. It's like, hey, come to the ramp. Like let's see what's going on. But most of the time it's the core group, and then Richard came from Virginia, and he's like, if you think I'm goofy and shenanigans, like he's the extreme of that. And we joke around. So she and I are big How I Met Your Mother fans, and he's like the Ted Mosby of the group. And Richard, that's a compliment in its own way. But yeah, so he's very like hard on his sleeve, and he's like, he's always just out for having a good time. And so he kind of adds in a little extra shenanigans, especially on the weeks that, if I'm having a really bad grief week or something, he kind of like fills in my spot for me, which is nice. Or if like I'm on vacation, like he's the hype guy, But yeah, so that works pretty well. But
he does a pretty good job of providing us with laughs.
Yeah. Yes. And he's the dancer of the group.
Yes.
So if you ever...
He's been caught dancing quite a few times in some videos that I have.
I was going to say, one video that you made for YouTube, like, all it was him in the background, like, doing dancing. Which was hilarious. Yeah, so we're always trying to get more people out of the ramp. Because, too, I think the more people you skate with, the better skater you're going to become, right?
Yeah.
Because
you can feed off of each other.
Yeah. And you learn things from other people. Like I have a really bad time with rotations. Any kind of rotation throws my brain off. I hate them. I get flustered. I think part of it was the whole gymnastics thing where, you get like what's called the spins, where you don't know where you are. And so then you're risk of injuring yourself. And I think I still had that stuck in my brain because I am very much anxiety on wheels. And so, but like if I skate with someone, like she's good at rotations, but like if I skate with someone who's good at something, they can kind of break it down in a different way that it starts to click, And so I think it's important to expose yourself to different skaters because just like trying to explain math, right? Like I'm going to cry either way if I'm trying to do math, but there might be somebody who explains math in a certain way that my brain's like, okay, we're still going to cry, but now we kind of know what's going on, So I feel like...
And you can watch videos over and over and over of people doing things.
Yeah.
But when you actually skate with somebody who's doing that thing, it works better. Like I went to, over Christmas, when I went up to Arkansas and skated 30 ramp again, I was skating with the local rollerbladers out there.
Okay.
And I learned a couple of things from them, and they learned a couple of things from me. And it was kind of a... because I'm down here, they're up there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see each other or skate with each other.
Yeah.
Except for when you
cross paths.
Yeah. Come across whatever. And so getting out there and skating with them was really great because I could watch, like they had different tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff I wasn't even going to try because like I'm not
way
there
above
yet.
your...
But
yeah,
there were a few things that they taught me, and then I was surprised that I taught them some things too.
Oh, that's
I was like, that's great.
Yeah, right? You're like, I feel you. That's pretty neat. So, yeah, well, that's like when we took a skate trip out to Austin in January. Yeah, in January.
Yeah.
And it was actually, okay, Texans don't hate me, but that was my first time to actually go to Austin. I've lived here since I was 7. I had never gone to Austin. But we got to skate Isaac's backyard ramp, which is a 10-foot vert. There was a rollerblader out there, and I can't remember his name now.
Was it Skate Dad?
Something like that. Okay, my superpower is
Skater
forgetting
Dad
names.
Or Skate Dad
yeah,
or something like that on Instagram.
I'll have to look
Look
him up.
it up.
I saw him doing backside slides, and I was like, Oh, okay. Because it was like I had started trying to do them and I couldn't figure out how to rotate my body and get my blocks up on the coping and slide at the same time. And so it was not really clicking. And then he started doing them. And of course, rollerbladers are a whole different breed of skater. I mean, they're like no fear. They just full send all the time. And so it was really great to be up on the deck and watch him do it and see how his body was rotating and so that kind of clicked a bunch of things in my brain. I still can't do them, but now I know what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do it. So that was really cool.
We'll have to go to North Houston and work on, because I want to try backside slides too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the little bunny section at North Houston is a good place.
Oh yeah, the tiny town. Yeah, that should be good. But
we're making plans now.
Yeah, here we go. See, create a skating podcast and then make skate plans. So that's what's great about skating with other people, and also too, like the more you skate with other people, the more it helps you like not get in your head about, oh, I should be better than this person, or whatever, that person's better than me. It kind of takes you out of that, because then you have the whole community angle, and you're seeing them unlock things and you're cheering for them and they're cheering for you to unlock things. So it kind of takes that away, which is great, because like I said, I get in my head all the time about everything, and being around other skaters, which is why I don't skate alone. So I also don't skate alone because it's not as fun. To me, it's boring, but
I skate alone only if I'm going out there to drill.
Mm-hmm.
Just drill the same trick over and over again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I haven't done in a while, because I live so far away now.
You really do live far away.
I used to do that. Used to be my lunchtime thing. I would go out to Easy 7 because I only lived 10 minutes from Easy.
Mm-hmm.
So at lunchtime, I would
go out,
take my lunch, I'd go out there, I'd drill whatever for 45 minutes to an hour, and then go home and go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think the closest so there's 2 skate parks close to me, or that are about the same distance for me. They're about 20 minutes away. Bridgeland, and then whatever the one on Highway 6 is. They're both about 20 minutes away. Bridgeland has a sort of mini,
mm-hmm.
but it's not very well made. And the one on Highway 6 does not have a mini at all. So
it's all street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I'm drilling something, I need that, like, it's literally, I'm drilling it on that wall, and then I'm drilling it on this wall, and it's back and forth, 10 walls rest.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to be motivated by other people, I think. Because also too, I feel, it's like the whole energy thing. We're both introverts. I'm a extroverted introvert. So I can be more outgoing and initiate conversations with people and all that kind of thing. I'm not afraid of kind of putting myself out there. I don't like to do it, but if I'm in a situation where I have to, I can. I like being around other people, because then if I'm just like, what am I going to do? I can't think of what I want to work on. But then
go out there with a plan.
Somebody with you, somebody like you're like, hey, let's try this today. And I'm like, cool, let's totally do it. I'm ready, Yeah, I'm one of those people. I like to be around other people to skate, because you guys give me inspiration and you help hype me up. And then also too, when I sit there and I negative self-talk myself, y'all are like, hey, that was awesome. You did that great, or you did that great, which I am the type of person that's very good at doing that for other people, right? Like at HVR, when the skateboarders are working on their stuff, a new trick, and they don't land it, but I'm like, hey, you got more height on that one, or hey, that rotation was beautiful, or hey, and I'll point out like little things about the trick that they're trying to do, even if they can't get the whole trick. Yeah. I'm like, let's celebrate all those little wins.
It's always that looked really, really good. Now all you gotta do is land it.
Correct.
It looked beautiful. And Cody's always like, but I didn't land it. Yeah, but it looked amazing.
And then what does he do? Like the next time he does it, he can land it. So,
it's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm very much a cheerleader for other people. It's hard for me to be a cheerleader for myself, and that's something I've been working on big time. When I skate, I'm constantly analyzing everything. And so I don't think I'll ever be one of those like really flowy skaters. Like locally here, Erin is a really flowy skater. She gets in and she feels it. I mean, it's beautiful. It's like a work of art watching her skate. And I don't think I will ever be that type of skater because I'm constantly like, okay, what are we doing next? Okay, I need to turn this way. Okay, and I'm constantly thinking about stuff all of the damn time.
But to that though, I think you will. We just need to go to North Houston more and put you in the bowls. Because when you're in the bowl and you have to flow, it unlocks that part of your brain.
Yeah.
Because I used to be that way too. Like,
really?
Yeah. But when I started skating bowls more, it's like you don't have the bowl sends you where the bowl's going to send you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can plan for it, sometimes you can't.
Mm-hmm.
But especially when you get in a new bowl, you don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
So you just go in and whatever happens, happens. Mm-hmm. And so as you start unlocking things in bowls, it unlocks that part of your brain that's like, okay, we have to plan everything out. Well, no, now it's unlocked where
you just feel it.
Once you figure out what you're doing, it's just going to naturally happen.
Okay.
Bowls are really, really good about that. That's one thing. That's why I love skating bowls.
And I've skated bowls before, but I think I stick to what's comfortable.
Yeah.
And so it's very hard to push me out of that comfort zone. Which again is another. There's a lot of things I'm working on.
That is one of those things that like people will get into a bowl and they'll find one line and stick with that one line.
Yeah.
I like to try and get in bowls and find more lines.
Okay.
Because like I'll get one line down really, really well. And then I'll work on that line and work on putting tricks and stuff in there. But I also, once I get that line down, it's like, okay, well, maybe I can do the first half of this line and then hit this wall different and see where it goes.
Something new, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some bowls you can't. Some bowls there's literally one line.
Yeah.
The really wonky bowls. But in most bowls you can get in and just
see what happens.
Find more lines.
That sounds cool.
It's fun. It's a creative unlocking thing. It's kind of like skating the ditch. When I go down into the ditch, I try to do different things because that ditch will just throw you somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like, oh well, I was aiming for that, but never mind. Now I have to figure out what to do here. It like unlocks your creativity.
Okay.
But if you keep doing the same thing over and over in the ditch,
then you get stuck again. Yeah. And that's why I really like skating with you is because you're different from me in that aspect, and you can push me to try new things. And that's not to say that I'm not adventurous and I don't try new things, but half the time my brain is so focused on, okay, what's our exit strategy, right? If this doesn't work out, how are we gonna what happens if we fall? We got to make sure we fall properly so we don't it's really annoying in my head. I'm sorry. So that's why I like skating with you is because you're basically like, shh, it's gonna be fine. Just do it,
Yeah,
So, and I feel like Cody does that a lot too, where I'll be like, but what? And he's like, no, you're fine. Just do it. Just go.
So he tries to do that with me too, but I'm like, you want me to do what? Yeah, no, that's not happening today.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
No, that is true. There are some things that I absolutely know I'm not ready for. And he's like, just try it. And
yeah,
like,
he thinks we can do all the things, and we can't do all the things.
Yeah.
We're old. We take a little bit more time to do all the things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another conversation we should get into on one of our episodes is aggressive skating in your late 30s, early 40s is completely different than aggressive skating in your 20s.
Yeah, because we don't like to fall.
Correct.
Because if we fall, it's going to hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer to heal.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and so, and especially too, it's like, I'm a single parent now. Like, I'm the provider of my family. If I break, it's like shit, that's gonna be really bad. So
Yeah.
that's also
We'll
why
get into that
I'm
on another episode.
yeah. Well, and that's also why I'm also very pro gear.
Yeah.
So
There's that discussion also.
yes, we'll have to do that.
We'll do that when we talk about being old.
Okay.
So that's something for y'all to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun conversation. A lot of people are not pro helmet, and I'm very pro helmet because I know several people who have sustained brain injuries, and so
I've hit my head. It only took one time, and it wasn't that I didn't want to wear my helmet. It's that I took my helmet off, and then decided I was going to do one more run, and hit my head.
Yeah,
didn't like it. It hurt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with a helmet on, a good like multi-impact helmet, I still suffered concussions in roller derby because you get hit that hard. I mean, as a jammer, you literally have a target on your back and you have to get away from everybody. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. You can have two people coming at you right at the same time and your clock is clean. So even, I think I sustained like at least 5 concussions. And there was one year I had gotten like 3 of them, like all in a row. It was bad. Yeah, it was.
I remember that.
Oh, and then there was
that's one of the last years.
Remember the San Antonio game?
Yes.
In July of 2019.
I remember that.
Yeah. There was a skater. Well, first of all, their team played really dirty.
Oh, they played so dirty.
They were committing penalties like crazy, and then refs were not calling anything at them. And I was jamming, and I had broken through the pack, and there was a skater that was out of the engagement zone, meaning you have to be within 20 feet of the majority of skaters. She was way out of range, and she was waiting for me. And as I came toward her, I went to juke around her. She planted her foot and she slammed her entire upper body into my face. So not only was it a stop block, it was a high block. She was out of the engagement. So, I mean, she committed like so many penalties all in one move. Literally laid me out. And I was bleeding from the mouth. And I got up. I gave her the dirtiest look I've ever given anybody in my life. And I yelled at the ref that she had committed penalties, and I kept skating before the rest of the pack caught up to me. Went around, got some more points, called it off, ended the jam, and I skated over, and I'm like literally dripping blood. And she came over with an ice pack and was like, sorry. And I was like, get away from me. I was so mad. And she hit me so hard that I had whiplash the next day, and I had bruised. You could see each individual tooth through my lip. I had bruised so hard because she hit me with her shoulder into my mouth. It was nuts. So yeah, derby is a very tough sport. Even if you're playing recreationally, it still takes a lot of endurance, a lot of grit.
It's a lot of fun to play.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
It really is. It's a lot of fun to play.
And the speed skating aspect I really liked. Yeah, I liked flying around the track. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like I said, I'm not a competitive person, but I did enjoy playing roller derby. But then after 10 years of it, it was like, okay, I'm done being competitive. I just want to have some fun. And that's why I got into park skating. So, because there's not like, it's just you against you.
Yeah, it's on your own time. And
yeah, whatever you want to learn and whatever you want to unlock, like it's totally open. And you don't have to hit a certain benchmark at a certain time of your skating. Yeah. I mean, I think I read, what was it? I think I read somewhere that someone said like, I'm in the progress. Like, what did she say? She said something like aggressive skating is always part of the process. Like no matter what, you're going to always be in the process because you're constantly progressing and you're constantly, once you reach a goalpost, then you try to do more. So you're never going to stop learning. And
I remember that, and I don't remember who it was.
I think it was,
I don't remember who it was, but I remember saying that.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look. But that kind of stuck with me because it was like a lot of people who look at skating from the outside, they're like, well, how come you're not a pro yet or whatever? And it's like, because we're constantly evolving,
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that we're anywhere near the pro level, but But yeah,
There's
so
not very many vert skaters out there anyway.
they're really not, and that's why
Even in skateboarding, it's getting a little bit more popular, but there's really not many
Not a
vert
ton.
skaters.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like what I try to tell myself with that whole, imposter syndrome or whatever. One thing I try to do is I remind myself of what I've accomplished that's unique to me. And the big thing is, hey, I'm 40 years old and I'm skating on a vert ramp. How many 40-year-olds skate on a vert ramp, So it's like, okay, I might not be the best at skating on a vert ramp, but at my age, I'm doing it and I'm unlocking stuff, which is really cool. And so it's like, you got to kind of celebrate that. So I think it's time to talk about the events.
I think it is time to talk about events. Upcoming events for everybody out there who doesn't know. I try to keep track of what's going on in the skate community because I like to travel places and do things and skate new things and all the stuff.
Watch skating and
yes, watch skating.
Yeah.
So we have some things that I've seen on Instagram lately. Hopefully this episode airs before some of these because I see one down here that says March 4th. And that's next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so some local things. March 18th at Houston Vert Ramp here in Houston is the March Meltdown. I haven't seen a whole lot of advertising around that, and I'm not exactly sure what that entails. I think they're doing
like it's going to be bands, quite a few bands.
Bands and art. Playing. And I think they're doing a vert demo.
Vert demo, yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. So
I assume we'll be able to skate because it's HVR.
Maybe.
But not during the demo, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's coming. I don't know who else. I don't know what the plans are. I've seen like one post, 2 posts about it. Nothing with many details. But that is here on March 18th. Also on March 18th, for roller skaters, they're having the Bowl Bash in Dallas at Garland Skate Park. This is a brain freeze skate wax thing. One of their team members is coming in from Arizona. I can't remember who it is. Miso Skate? Maybe. I could be wrong. But somebody's coming in from Arizona who's on the team. So they're going to be there.
And it's going to be
I think they're doing clinics. I think they're doing clinics and then like a meetup. I think it's like 10 a.m. to whenever or something. I could be wrong about that, but that's also on March 18th in Dallas. May 20th, also in Dallas, Brain Free Skate Wax is celebrating their 1-year anniversary.
Yay.
So that's just a save the date. We have no details on that yet. Keep an eye on their Instagram. I'm sure they'll announce more stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And we only know about that because we saw it. You saw it on their story?
Yeah, I saw it on Maria's story.
And that's because I went and looked through Instagram to find the post because I was like, I gotta remember to put this in my calendar because I didn't put it in my calendar. I was like, I know there's something on May 20th.
Yep.
But I didn't see anything. So just save the date, May 20th, Dallas. That's it. November. Okay, this is my favorite one. And yes, we're going this far out because everybody needs to, we're going to just keep reminding everybody about all this stuff.
Yeah.
November, Banger in the Hangar, November 9th through the 12th.
Yep.
The big Vert Jam.
4th year in a row.
Yep. Fourth year. Yes. Quads can skate.
Yes.
We usually skate with the women's division Saturday at like
it's usually like
3
to 5. Yeah.
Is usually when they let us skate. I mean, you're welcome to skate any other time. However, you should be aware that during the women's skate time is when you're not going to get snaked as much.
Correct. Especially because there's a lot of groms.
The groms,
little kids.
They snake a lot.
Crazy.
Well, and during the masters, they don't do that either. So both the masters and the women's.
Quite a few of the masters were like, "Come skate with us. We're tired." And I was like, "Well, I'm 40. I'm technically in the master's age bracket, But
the time frames for skating are suggested. Scott tries to keep it, like that way everybody gets a chance to skate, because like during the pros or during the like 18 to 30 when the like all the guys are up there, it's like one like people can run into each other.
Every man for himself. Yeah, it's chaotic.
Neither of us want to be involved in that. We enjoy watching the skating.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would like to skate at that time too, but
yeah,
it's too much.
Well, and also too, like for skateboarders to drop into a vert ramp, it's a lot easier and faster. Whereas it takes us a second to like really set up, because we have to balance and make sure your block's not going to slip on the coping before you go in and all of that. So,
and they're not used to looking for us.
They're not used to looking for us either.
So they can stick their board out there and they're going. For us, it's, we can put our foot on the coping, but
we gotta like wait.
It doesn't.
I'm going. Yeah, one of those.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work. So
yeah,
the women's and the masters. If you want to skate, yes, quads can skate.
It's still a great time to even just come out and watch.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
What, last year he had over 700 people at his property?
I think there was over 1,000.
Oh, more than
for
that?
2022. Okay. Yeah, it was over 1,000.
More than
he
that.
extended it to 1,000.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there were those few people who didn't have to.
But it's cool because there's skateboarders from all around the world that come. And then this past year, the OGs didn't go because Christian Hosoi had turned 60, and they all went to his birthday party instead. But in previous years, I mean, some of the big OG skateboarders like
I know
Tony Hawk and Andy Mack and all of that.
So Jason Ellis, I asked him that question because I'm on the Patreon, so I get to see some of this.
Nice.
And I get to submit questions. So Jason Ellis said he's coming this year.
Very cool.
Tony Hawk said he's probably coming this year.
Okay.
So
yeah, mark your calendar. November.
Maybe they'll skate with the Masters and we can skate with them. That'd be great. They are Masters. Anyway, so save that. November 9th through the 12th. Banger in the Hangar right here in Houston. It's a good time, y'all. Okay, where am I at next? Skate to Elevate. Kate found this one. That's on March 4th in East LA. I don't know if this episode is airing before that, but try.
Yeah.
If you're on the West Coast and you happen to see this before March 4th, Skate to Elevate is out there. There's the Skate Safari on March 11th in California somewhere. They have a vert jam. Quite a few skaters are doing the demo out there. Skateboarders and roller skaters.
Yeah, there's a couple of roller skaters like Esther.
I think some bladers too.
Okay. Yeah, that's a demo though.
And
that's more like you go and
I don't know if you can skate it.
No, I don't think so. You have to be invited to skate the demo.
Well, yeah, but I mean like when the demo's done.
Oh, I don't know.
People might be able to skate. I don't know if can or not. But you can look up those details on Instagram. It's called Skate Safari and it's at Vert Jungle. Moxi Skate Camp. There's one at the end of April and one at the beginning of May. They sandwich Quad Cup.
Okay, yeah.
So it's 2 weekends. West is in April.
Yeah.
East is in May.
Second to last.
Yeah. East is in May. So it's that first weekend of May is East.
Yeah.
That weekend before the last weekend in April is West.
Yeah, it's yeah, because I got to go. Well, we both got to go last year, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
I can't go this year because I have nobody to watch my kid and my dog.
I was gonna go to East this year, but I think what I'm gonna do is just
go to Lake Cup.
No, that one.
Okay. Yeah, Moxi Skate Camp is April 21st through the 23rd for West. So.
And it is a lot of fun. If you can get a ticket to go, you'll learn a lot of things. You get to skate a whole bunch of different things.
I think airbag there. You can learn how to launch.
At West, there's an airbag. I think at East, there's a foam pit. Okay. Airbag is better. Come on, East, get your shit together.
Come on, Scott. Build an airbag at HVR so we can...
I know, right? We also need a mega rig. A mini mega? That's why
we have plans for your property, Scott.
Yeah. That we totally cannot do.
Yeah, by the way,
if
anybody would like to donate to Houston Vert Ramp, whether you've skated it in the past or if you've come out for Banger and you want to help support, you can go to my link tree. I have a link in there that you can go straight to his PayPal.
There's that, or you can go to his page.
His page has all the links too.
At Houston Vert Ramp has the link there. You can donate. Yep. Yeah, I try to donate all the time, or as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I get paid. I'm like, here you go, Scott, there's $20.
Yep.
Thanks for letting me use the restroom.
Right? Thanks for unlocking
the door.
All right. And what else do we have?
Okay. Yep, Quad Cup. That's next on the list, which is sandwiched in between. So it's the very last
Weekend of April.
They have a new format. They're doing more of a jam format, and I don't think they have a mini this year.
Yeah, I think it's just
So it's just street. So street skaters, get on out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's it. That's what we have on our list.
Yeah.
We'll find more and tell y'all. We'll keep this updated, and at the end of every show, we'll remind everybody of the events coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think that's all we have.
That's all we have for today's episode.
Oh, I do. Just in case this does air before March 4th. Happy birthday, Aaliyah.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday, Aaliyah. She's in our Houston skate group. And how old is she going to be? 10?
She will be 10.
Ooh.
She is an awesome skater. If you're not following her, she's at Turk_713. She's going to be really great.
Yeah.
She's already, she's doing things that
she's already
I don't do.
do.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, she has.
She's killing it. So,
and I think she's going to compete in some more competitions this year too.
Very cool.
That's their plans.
Yeah.
Okay. Closing my book.
Yes, I'll close my book also. That's it for our first episode. So thank you everybody for listening to us talk for the past how long this is going to be when we edit it. And,
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes. And we will see you for episode 2.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.